I think the question is sort of when you get married and you start, potentially you and your new spouse have issues with your parents or with their parents, how do you navigate it? That's what I think we're kind of facing here. Okay. And there have been some, listen, we all love Victoria Beckham, we love the Beckhams. Okay. There were some moments that I think would bother me if I were Nicola. So like allegedly at the wedding, she was doing an important dance. It was just her and her husband. And Victoria came running in and jumped in and took over the dance.
But I would be hijacking a wedding dance.
If my mother-in-law did that, I'd be like, please, Sally, no. She also would never do it. So I think there's some weird tensions, and I think they may just be trying to advocate for themselves. But I mean, you also don't want to see any kind of an estrangement.
Imagine your mother-in-law stepping in and stealing your first dance. And then your husband's best friend openly announces that she is the most beautiful woman in the room at your own wedding. The Beckham-Peltz feud is not just tabloid gossip. It is a case study in how billion-dollar egos and carefully crafted maternal branding can tear a family apart from the inside. Today, we are pulling back the designer curtain to explain why Brooklyn and Nicola have essentially disappeared from the Beckham inner circle. Is there a breaking point to putting family first? If your mother-in-law tried to steal your spotlight on your wedding day, would you cut ties or wear the ridiculous dress just to keep the peace? Drop a flag in the comments if you have ever dealt with a true monster-in-law. The first dance is a universal symbol of a new partnership, an intimate moment shared in front of others. But when your mother-in-law is a global icon who built her empire on always being the center of attention, privacy simply does not exist. By allegedly cutting in, Victoria did not just take over a dance, she reasserted her dominance. It was a power play wrapped in the language of family fun. For Nicola, a billionaire's daughter who is used to being the main character in her own story, this was not a minor social slip. It was a clear declaration of war. Most brides worry about bad weather. Nicola Peltz had to worry about being eclipsed by posh spice. When the spotlight is treated like a family heirloom, sharing it can feel like surrendering it entirely.
The story is that the bride is wearing a Valentino gown.
She didn't wear
and Victoria Beckham is a designer. And she didn't wear a Victoria Beckham dress.
But apparently...
What?
But,
oh my God!
But allegedly Victoria Beckham's atelier, the fashion house, said they didn't have time to make the dress.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bunch of baloney.
I think it comes down to the crux of, like, parents, it's hard to let your kids go, although that's the point, and they're going to find their people, even though they came from you. They will find their own people. And as partners, you're marrying a family.
In the world of high fashion, "we didn't have time" is often code for "we didn't want to." And when you look at the optics of the world's most famous designer mother-in-law being passed over while the bride chooses Valentino, it becomes a sharp and very public rejection of Victoria's professional credibility. Because if Nicola had worn Victoria, she would have been a walking advertisement for the Beckham brand. But by choosing Valentino, she asserted her own identity and underscored her family's enormous wealth, making it clear this was not a wardrobe mishap, but a calculated refusal to be Beckham branded before the cake was even cut, since a wedding dress can be either a simple garment or a surrender flag. And what we are really witnessing here is a collision between two dynasties where the Beckhams bring global fame, while the Peltz family holds quiet billions, raising the question of whether Brooklyn owes his loyalty to the woman who raised him or the woman he is building a life with. So let me know who you think is truly pulling the strings in the comments.
You really have to welcome your daughter-in-law and welcome your son-in-law.
We'll believe that when you do
it. I understand that, but I also think that it's very important that they all get together because Victoria Beckham's going to want to see her grandkids, right? And David Beckham's going to want to see his grandkids. But this woman, apparently his wife, her father's a billionaire, so she's not really checking for the Beckhams. I think that's part of it too.
But this is you need grandma to take care of those kids sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want them to be close to their nana.
Yes.
But it is a higher end version of the whole debate. If your mom or mother-in-law was like, wear my wedding dress. And you're like, oh, but that's not for me. I want what I want. And I want to feel like myself.
Yeah. Usually, marrying into the Beckham family is seen as the ultimate social upgrade. But Nicola Peltz never needed the Beckham name to gain access to any room, because her father's bank account could practically buy the entire building, and that reality shifts the balance of power completely, since Victoria is accustomed to being the matriarch everyone is eager to satisfy. Yet Nicola has no dependence on the influence or status Victoria offers, meaning when a daughter-in-law possesses more wealth than her famous in-laws, the traditional respect your elders dynamic simply disappears, making this far more than a minor family disagreement, but rather a quiet Cold War between two very different forms of elite power, because it is nearly impossible to play the role of matriarch over a woman who effectively owns the board.
Somebody came in and said, and to the most beautiful person at the wedding, Mark Anthony said, and he said Victoria Beckham.
Well, he performed a song
was,
and then asked for the most beautiful woman in the room
yeah,
to come.
But
It wasn't the bride.
If someone did that at my wedding.
What? Oh my God! Mark Anthony, what's wrong with you? I mean, I get it why you said that, but oh my God, we have to go to break. It's so free.
Imagine the scene. You spend millions on a wedding, and then your husband's godfather, an actual global superstar, grabs the microphone and declares your mother-in-law the most beautiful woman in the room, creating the ultimate gaslighting moment. Because whether it was a carefully scripted Beckham PR gesture or a painfully tone-deaf tribute, it delivered a crystal-clear message to Nicola that in this world Victoria is the queen and you are merely the consort, which makes it easy to understand why Brooklyn and Nicola have quietly skipped recent family gatherings, since who would willingly return to a dinner table where they have been repeatedly sidelined and erased, especially when at this wedding the words, "I do," felt far closer to "I don't."
That's hard coming in.
Why start off on the worst foot by not wearing your mother-in-law's dress?
But there seems to be more details, like
You're
Sunny
going to be married to the guy, and now this is going to be in the background.
Yeah,
What
I
is-
do
what a
think-
stupid
I don't think she has to wear the dress. I don't think so. Because, wait,
she
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
have to.
No,
But
but,
she
you know,
should.
but like, if she doesn't show that she has her own taste
Yeah.
and like who she is, so that she's not like in Victoria Beckham's like shadow.
There is a fundamental biblical shift that occurs when a son gets married, the idea of leaving and cleaving. But the Beckhams are not merely a family. They are a corporate enterprise known as Brand Beckham, and when Brooklyn chose Nicola's side, he did not simply choose a wife, but effectively defected from the family business. Which is why the couple's absence from David's 50th birthday celebration is not a harmless scheduling issue, but a clear boundary, because they are not just finding their own circle, but actively constructing a fortress designed to keep the Beckham influence at a distance. And the silence from both sides speaks louder than any Instagram caption ever could, since sometimes leaving the nest means burning the tree down first, and ultimately the Beckham. Peltz feud serves as a reminder that no level of fame or wealth can shield a family from the oldest conflict there is, the fight for a son's loyalty, leaving open the question of whether this is a permanent split or simply a very long and very expensive timeout, while the carefully curated image of the perfect Beckham family now lies in pieces. And if you want to see how other celebrity dynasties are collapsing under the weight of their own egos, you can click the video on your screen now. Noting that this video is based on publicly available sources and does not constitute professional advice.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh my God, are we done?
Thanks for watching, and subscribe now.